You act towards my teammates,
coaches, referees, and other fans.
What kind of lesson do you want me to learn? I'm watching.
Sportsmanship, together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Goes in the end zone. Comets take over on the 20-yard line. 1st and 10.
So a touchback by the Raiders, kicking it deep for the Raiders was number 86 of Trevor Moss. So a touchback called. The Comets will go back to their 20-yard line, and we'll get ready now for the opportunity for Clayton to somehow, Daniel Moore, try to score something.
Yeah, again, I know I sound probably like a broken record at this point, but they have got to pull something together and get something rolling here.
Well, the defense is doing their job.
Yes, absolutely.
2 defensive stops by the Comets already on the Raiders.
And again, there's been a few passes, maybe defensive lineman, defensive back. Somebody has almost just almost got a tip on the ball, but
snaps the ball, hands off up the middle.
Up going again. Well,
Number 3,
Chadwick with the ball, at least got a couple up the field before the stop was made by the Raiders, number 11 of Xavier Baldwin.
Legal formation. Less than 7 players on the line of scrimmage. A 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
A penalty against the Comets, 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty against the Comets.
24-0, and a penalty to boot here. And this will now be a 1st and 15 coming up on the, wow, I want to say they're going to go back to the 15-yard line. The clock guy over here has got everything all screwed up because they're not on the 28.
Right, for sure.
1st and 15 on the 15.
Oof.
Attempt trying to be caught by number 8 for the Comets of Chris Barber. And it was also going to go to Tashay Emerson.
And it seems like every time...
they're going to say Emerson was the one to catch it, but it looked like number 8 was showing the eligible receiver coming out there. Number 8 was of Chris Barber, the wide receiver. But nonetheless, it is 1st and 15, and they'll go down to 2nd and 15.
Yep. And, again, it seems like every time Whittington's dropping back to pass, he's just getting a massive amount of pressure on him.
1st and 15, ball on the 15. Comets trying to get something started here, a little pushing and shoving going on in the process. As looks like a stop was made by number 18 for the Raiders. Number 3 with the carry for the Comets, and that was actually Jalen Chadwick. And number 18 and 47 will take the credit for being on the defense. And that was Isaiah Jones, number 18, the free safety, and the number 47 of Khalil Brown. It is loud here inside Raider Stadium.
It sure is.
If you're listening to our broadcast on the CRN Sports Network, you hear the atmosphere. You're just not seeing it. It's electric.
Absolutely.
But it's just on the opposite side of the ball than we are.
Yeah, and again, a tale of two sides, right?
24-0 right now. The Comets trying to get something started as up the field goes number 24 of Deshaun Hinton.
Carry by number 24, Deshaun Hinton.
Hinton at least gets 2 on the carry. And the stop was made by the defensive front line of the offensive Raiders, or defensive Raiders, and they put them in their tracks. We're at 4th down now. 4:35 coming up in the first half of play, and we got to remember, we got another half of football left.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, I thought they might have had something rolling with that first play, but then when the penalty comes, and
a block kick.
Well, they've been close all night. They've been close all night to blocking it, and they finally got one.
And like I said, and I'm not trying to down our kicker for the Comets, but he struggled all night. Wyatt Williams, number 90, has struggled all night kicking for the Comets. And he about had that penalty catch him.
Yeah.
Southern Builders, Trinity Manufacturing, Nolan Dennis.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders, and they're in good field position.
Really good field position.
They're in very good field position to very easily score an opportunity of a quick touchdown. Daniel, it could happen here.
It could.
Hood hands it off to 33 up the middle. Stop made. 3, 4, 5 on the Comets. This is what we need.
Emmanuel Johnson, he stepped up there and stopped that one before they could get any further.
Number 33 running with the ball of Jamian Covington, the running back senior for the Raiders. Emmanuel Johnston just punts him in the mouth and just says, "You're not going nowhere."
Yeah, he thought he had a good head of steam, and Johnson come in and just showed him he wasn't going no further.
All that momentum that Johnson had where he was moving up the field, he quickly lost as it's now 2nd and 6 for the Raiders. What a stop. Trying to keep these players from Richmond County making it to the end zone, and the Comets are on defense again, and another stop made. Stopping number 33 of Covington. Covington's being stopped again here. I mean, say this without being condescending here, Daniel, but it looks like the Comets play better defense when the Raiders and Comets are in the red zone fighting to score than whenever they're back behind the 50-yard line.
Anywhere else, yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're trying to show them that they're not going to let them in anymore.
Pressure underway. Another opportunity made, and he goes down. What a stop. Another stop, but it is going to be a first.
On the carry, number 5.
Number 5 with the carry of Caleb Hood. Wow. Number 2 for the Comets on the stop, and that was Braden Craig.
What do you do here? 4th and 3.
All right. 2:40, the clock ticking down, remaining. In the second. In the second. Here we go. Throwing the ball. Wow, he got slammed. Hood had nowhere to go. He read the fake, and it goes to the end zone. Touchdown. It looked like 33 of Jamin Covington was going to be the man with the carry, but quickly the lights have gone out in Richmond because it's on purpose. They are celebrating in Rockingham. Another score for the Raiders. And what a play.
Obviously, he faked out the defense as well, but he sure faked me out as well. I thought it was a good stop from the Comets, and man, if it was a good sneak, and he took off and sure enough scored another touchdown.
I thought for a second Covington was going to be the man with the ball to go to the end zone, but quickly a fake made by Hood, and the QB takes it all the way to a TD. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. 31-0. My dad's old race car number, my old football number when I played for the Comets as well back in 2002. 31-0 the score. The Comets in a great, tough test against a multi-state champion of the Richmond County Raiders. This is football right here.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I've seen some things as we get ready for the first half to come to a close that Clayton is improving on.
Yeah.
They just got to tweak things a little bit more to find that right ingredient to have the right cake batter.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, like you said, even just since the game has started, they have been, improving on this or that. So, I mean, they're trying to find their way, and like I said, this is going to be a big challenge for them. And luckily, it's non-conference, so
it's non-conference.
So I mean,
exactly.
Even a loss here isn't going to, weigh too bad on your season. But you obviously would like to come out and again win that first game of the season.
The kick is up, ready. 2:22. Make a wish. Out of the end zone, catch was made. It'll be a touchback.
Goes into the end zone. Common ball on the 20-yard line.
It will be a touchback.
Right now, I just need you to get real loose.
Well, 2:22 in the second quarter. First half remaining. And I guess we're about to do the Giddy Up Challenge in Rockingham. 31-0. First and 10. Ball about to go to the Comets. There is a penalty on the kicking team. There was a penalty on the kicking team. Penalty on the kicking team. So there's a penalty against the Raiders, so the Comets will at least go up 5. The first and 10 coming up.
So it all just depends on where they end up with the ball.
Just after 8:30 Eastern time here in Rockingham. And we're getting ready for the conclusion of the first half of play. It is 31-0. And again, as you said, this is non-conference. The referee better pick up the flag there. About to get a caution or about a stoppage of play for debris.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I broke into race announcer mode. I've announced a lot of races this year. I've announced a lot of races since January, actually. But, of course, the last time we came to you for coverage on CRN for the Comets was football and softball, or baseball and softball back in May. And the kick is up here now for the final 2:22 remaining in the first half of play. The Comets are trying to run it back. Number 2 with the carry. And he's still running with it. Up to the 40-yard line. Brandon Quay, the 5'10", 178 wide receiver, holding onto that rock and getting about a 25-yard carry up the field from where he stood.
Yeah, I think he made the right decision to bring it to the other side of the field. Initially, he started on the far side of the field from us, and as the play progressed, he decided to bring it over in front, with his blockers, obviously, and they've done a pretty decent job of blocking for him.
Had that momentum going where he was running, where he was standing. 1st and 10, ball on the 37-yard line now. The Comets are trying to get something started here after that great push up the field by McCray. Here comes Whittington. Whittington will hand it back off in the backup court again. Running. Oh! Number 3! What a carry! Jalen Chadwick!
And that's what they needed. They're on the right side of the field now. And so,
I've seen some good things in the Comets.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's a non-conference game against a huge challenge for the team. So
I think just the opportunity for Clayton to score against the Raiders would be a blessing and a great achievement in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. And, anything you can
because
accomplish.
Richmond's a hard team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And anything you can accomplish against a team like this,
Whittington throws it to, again, Chadwick.
Yep.
Number 45 with the stop, or number 35 for the stop of the Raiders. Number 35 on the stop, and that was DeAndre Bethea. What were you saying?
No, so anything you can achieve against a team like this is obviously it's something that you're going to take away next week to practice, and you're going to say, well, hey, we've done this against this team, so next week we're facing a team that's maybe a little bit less ranked. So that'll give you what we've done good, what we've done bad, and you can assess all that in practice.
Under pressure is Whittington. 2 players bring him down. Number 40 and 35 for the Raiders as Whittington was trying to carry it on his own. Number 40 and 35, Whittington, the quarterback again for the Comets. DeAndre Bethea and Amarian Mason get the assist on bringing him down. 3rd and 5, and this is the best signs of life we have seen in the Comets so far. Timeout on the field for the Comets. 2nd timeout.
Yeah, and there's history is laden with second half teams. So maybe the Comets just need to see what they've done poorly in the first half and see if they can even make adjustments on that halfway through.
And I'll tell you what, we're not going to go to radio timeout. We're going to stay here on CRN Network with our coverage here from Raiders Stadium in Rockingham with the Raiders and the Comets. Here's something to think about too. This schedule was unveiled months ago,
right.
Almost probably in January, February, if that, to prepare for this new season. You had Hunter Jenks, who had been here a 3-year coach for the Comets. He left on Tuesday afternoon because of midst of all that's going on in Clayton. Then you have Robert Sissany come in, who is a respected state champion coach in his own right, as a play is made, incomplete pass after a throw made by Whittington. They're going to say that it was for number 14 of Tashay Emerson, but it is incomplete. But what I was going to get into, Daniel, is the fact of, with 45 seconds left in the first half of play here in Rockingham, there's been so much chaos in the Comets locker room, in the Comets community for Clayton.
Yep.
Being out here is just a true testament of playing the game and showing why the hashtag Comets All In banner is true.
Right, yeah, and that's a big thing. Amidst any controversy, any team that can step up and maybe not even necessarily bring home a W to the school, but anything you can take away from this is just gonna work out better for the coach, so he can see what he's assessing, being that he's new.